state to the highest possible level, right? Simple psychology, guys, right? I feel good about myself, that I can bring value to this organization if they were to hire me, right? So I just keep thinking over and over again, seeing myself in this position, doing the job. And what this does, it kind of made me feel so good about the value that I can bring to the organization. Can't help, but I can make a good first impression. So the next thing, of course, is get out of the car, walk up to the office, and yeah, definitely be early, right? It's about 10 minutes early or 15 minutes, not 30 minutes early, right? You want to be able to have at least, 5 or 10 minutes early, right? So once you get to the interview, about 10 minutes before the start, and when you walk into the reception area and you're greeted, you can simply say, hey, I'm Syed, I'm here for the interview for the DevOps engineer position. That's all you need to do. And they'll ask you to sit down and wait to be called. And then, of course, within 10 minutes, the hiring manager will come out and he or she will likely introduce themselves. Hey, this is John. Hi, Syed. Why don't you come on back? And they'll invite you back to a room or a conference room or an office where you will just sit down with the hiring manager and maybe a couple of other people, right? Could be a panel interview. So let's say you walk into a room, let's say there are 3 or 4 people already sitting, and you're not sure how to introduce yourself to all of those people, right? Maybe you'll just walk around and shake all their hands. Well, I don't. I just meet the hiring manager, shake the hiring manager's hand. I'm Syed, and it's great to meet you. And then walk you back, you go into the room, and then of course there's several other people in there. All I do is just simply say, hello, I'm Syed, it's great to meet all of you. And I just leave it at that. Because you don't go around the table and shaking hands and whatnot. It's not, you don't go towards the back, right? So just a blanket hello would be wonderful. And that's a good impression. And then we sit down for the interview. So after you sit down, they're going to ask you to introduce yourself to the group or tell us more about you. Now, that is the opportunity when you can sell yourself, guys, right? And what you want to do is tell them how you got started, what you do, why you're interested in DevOps engineer position, for example, and some of the places that you worked and some of the projects, right? That is your, 2 minutes of fame. This is the introduction. Just telling them about what you like to do, where you see yourself going. Anything more? No, do not make it a sales pitch, right? So when you sit down for the interview, you don't want to start selling yourself. Selling comes later, right? It's basically selling comes after you've talked about the job and you're actually interested in. Then you can go into the sales pitch, right? This is just the introduction. And remember, those first impressions last a lifetime, guys. Just give them a brief introduction, concise, robust, who you are, what you're looking for, what you like about it, and where you see yourself going. That's it, right? All right, so let's talk about the second type, where you're actually meeting you're doing an interview over Skype or Zoom, similar to face-to-face, but slightly different. Because the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna join the Skype session or the Zoom session, and you're gonna say, just of course 5 minutes ahead of time, right? Not prior to that. So you wanna go through the same preparation that I talked about earlier, and that's important. Of course, you're not sitting in the car and visualizing yourself, you're actually sitting on your desk or a chair, but kind of see yourself in the same role, right? Go through the same process, and that's gonna condition you for meeting your employer over online. So the first thing you're gonna do when you both join on, a lot of people are gonna say, hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? No, please don't do that. All right, just say, hello, I'm Syed, I'm here for the interview. Can you hear me okay? That's the first thing. Or am I audible, right? That's a good thing to do, right? Or, am I audible? Can everyone see me? Perfect. That's how it is, right? So another thing you want to be able to do is, try not to use webcam, guys, right? Because webcam, yeah, they're not good quality, right? So because, the first impression is what? Right here, right? You're looking at me, and you're looking at the background, for example. And of course your audio tools, your speaker also. So yeah, webcam are okay, but not recommended, especially on online. You want to be crisp, you want to be confident, you want to be clear, right? So you want to be able to not only sound better, but look better too, guys, because dress to kill, right? No, that's how it is, right? So this kind of allows me to take all of my Skype informations, and the first impression is always great online, right? So, you know, that's really what it is, right? So just have the microphone very close to you, so you're very clear, everyone is, you know, kind of hearing you all right, and that makes a huge impression, because if you have an interview over Skype or Zoom and your microphone is not good and is breaking up and they can't hear you, tell me about it, guys, right? How would you feel, right? So you want to do everything you can prior to getting online for the interview, right? So once you finally connect, you can hear and see each other, and the next thing you might say, hey, can you tell us more about yourself and what you're looking for? That's the question. Then you go down through the same road that I talked earlier, what you're looking for, what you like about the things that you do, some of the things you've done, right? Where you see yourself going in future. And then the interview is going to take on its course, right? And what's happening here while you're going through this, you always want to be, well, you don't always want to be smiling, but you want to have a little bit of, a smile to release tension, right? You always want to be looking at them, talking to them directly, talking clearly. You don't want to say, I'll try not to do those. Have short sentences, clear sentences. And the opening line, by the way, is, well, hello, I'm Syed. Well, not that. So you want to be more like energetic, right? More charisma, not too much, but just a balanced approach. And that kind of shows the employer the first impression that you're introducing yourself in a manner because you were actually being enthusiastic about this particular DevOps engineer position, right? That you want to get into, right? So always use crystal clear, strong, deep voice. Look at your interview clearly, right? Whether you're doing face-to-face or whether you're doing Zoom. I know it's a little bit harder because over looking at the camera, some people are shy and you're not, it's not a real person in front of you, right? But you have to play with this, guys, right? So like I said, practice, practice, practice. Go check out my video on other interviews, right? So audio quality, video quality, visual quality, and that's really how you come across, right? All right, let's move on to the last form of interview, which is the old-fashioned telephone interview, right? So you get a call for the interview, and it's very simple. All you have to do is when they call and you say, hello, my name is Syed, and yeah, just introduce yourself, just like you would do otherwise, right? So that's how you would simply just do a small, because it's over the phone, they cannot see you, right? But they can hear you, and that's important. So the audio, the tone of your voice and what you speak is important, because if they cannot see you, they can hear you, right? So in a phone interview, they ask you, can you tell us about, a little bit about yourself, which is different than tell me about yourself. So if you get that question, what you're looking for, do not be caught off guard and simply walk them through same thing, your criteria for the job. Like, for example, if you're in the